Well, I'm gonna swap out my factory Kawasaki rear brake master cylinder on my 99 KX 125. I'm tired of it getting melted. Plus, because it's so close to here, the dang oil likes to freaking boil. And then the rear brake doesn't work so well. And yeah, so I'm gonna swap that out for a different one. Basically, I bought a cheap Chinese knockoff. It's for a KTM, but the measurements were pretty much right on the money, and I needed to have one with the banjo bolt on top where it's placed here, so that I didn't have to change the routing of my brake line. And the length of this is pretty easily adjustable right here, so I can it's basically perfect. The difference really with the stock one and this one is the stock one kind of goes around it, whereas this one looks like it's just an eyelet, so I'll have to run a bolt through it, but it looks like that should be okay. I mean, it's a pivoting eyelet, so yeah, I think that should be just fine. But we'll see. I mean, it's a pretty easy swap, so if it doesn't work, I can just take it off and put the stock one back on. I mean, the bolt, I will have to basically drill another hole here in the frame, because this aftermarket one, these are a little bit closer together, but that's not a problem, because what I'll end up doing, if I like this and I'm going to mount it permanently, I mean, you can see here, this top bolt is a little bit lower, so I'm gonna have to I'll just drill a hole right here, and then if it works, what I'll do is I'll take this off, and then I'll just weld back in this hole, grind it closed, and then you know, sand it all down and repaint that spot. But yeah, I mean, for now I'm just gonna drill a hole, use that new hole, and then, but yeah, I mean, this is a all self-contained deal, so there's no more external reservoir that's going to be up close to the exhaust, so I can keep it away from there from getting hot. And not only that, I don't have a tube to worry about. I don't have the cap. I mean, it's just seems like a much better design altogether. But again, this is a cheap Chinese knockoff. It's not a real KTM one. I think I bought this for, I think it was like $17 or something on eBay. And it took about, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks to show up from China, but it's here. And I did quarantine this box in my garage for about 2 weeks before I unboxed it. Not that the coronavirus would be all over it, but hey, I figure I'm quarantining it too. So it's time. I'm going to go riding this weekend for the last weekend of the year, for last ride of the year in Nebraska. So I'm going to try this out and see how it works. If I don't like it, I'll buy the real KTM one this winter. And a real Honda master cylinder, because I got a cheap knockoff Honda front master cylinder. Is not quite right either, but it definitely is better than the Cowie one to begin with. So anyway, that's the project for now. Probably gonna be about right. Okay. Okay. We'll pile a hole in there first. can't forget to Loctite these when I'm done. These things are notorious for coming unscrewed. Yeah, so far, I mean, all I had to do is just drill that little hole right there so far. But, I mean, bolts right up. Now let's see what this, how this will line up now. Because this just goes up in there. It's, the threads actually come out of the bottom piece for the length. So, oh wow, that's just about perfect. Let's thread this out a little. Let's thread it all the way out so far it'll go okay. A couple threads in. Huh. Right on the freaking money. So I'll have to find a bolt here that I can use. Yeah, it's going to pivot nice. It's actually, yeah. Let me come down just a little bit. Brake isn't resting. Okay. Try this one. This one's quite a bit longer, but I still think it'll be okay. Because I can grind the head off if I have to. Let's see here, that bolt is quite long. I really need one quite a bit shorter than that. I mean, it's not going to hit anything, but it just looks out of place. I want it to look factory. So I'm going to put that washer on the far side here so it rests against that ball head. I think what I need to probably do, I'm probably going to have to space this, put a single spacer in here too, it looks like. I mean, this piece is bowing that way a little bit, so I'm probably going to have to, plus I don't, you know, it's hitting that surface, it's not really hitting the ball, so I want to kind of get a washer about the size. Yeah, I think that's the diameter I want. So, take this off here. Put the washer round sided of the washer towards the. Yeah, that's gonna be way better. And then I can just grind the head off of it. I'm using a lock washer on the back side of it, so I really wanted that lock washer on there. Well, I guess the length of it's, at least with this specific lock washer, I mean, that's definitely further out than I want. I think I'm going to end up having to find a washer that I like a little bit better. But, I mean, dude, that's freaking awesome. Yeah, that's gonna work great. Even without any fluid in it, it feels better than the Kawasaki one. Crap. Alright, well, sweet. Alright, so now, I mean, this line's already full of oil, so I guess if I fill this with the .34 fluid, so I got some Honda .4. Oh boy. Overfilled that little. Now, rotate it back enough to get there we go. Yeah, that's gonna do the trick there. Okay, well, it's definitely pushing pressure up on that line. Same length. I think I'm gonna try it. It's actually stopping pretty dang good. Oh yeah. Yep. That is definitely going to do the trick. So I'm going to keep these stock banjo bolts for this thing and maybe use them later for something else. So I'm going to suck some of this out here. I've just got a Motion Pro fork oil level gauge. I'm just going to use this to pull some of that oil out of here so I don't drain it all over the place putting this cap on. I took too much out. $19mm it looks like. Nice. Okay. So there it is. It's mounted. And I didn't have to change the cable routing at all. That was one of my goals. Not to have to change the routing. Because then I'd probably have to buy a new cable and I don't want to do that. Yep. So that took care of that. It's all done. Pretty pumped about this. This is, yeah, it feels a lot more like what I wanted it to feel like. You know, Kawasaki's just isn't exactly yep. Barely touch it. Awesome. Alright guys. Thanks for Thanks for watching the video. I've got a whole bunch more mods I'm going to do to it this winter before next spring for ride season. So ride fast and have fun.